crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and thanks for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. It is amazing weather here in Phoenix. I just had to laugh earlier because we were outside decorating, putting up the holiday decorations, getting everything ready, and I was like, wow, it's just hot. So we need to go in and probably turn the AC on for a bit. And I thought, oh, but then there's my poor daughter and others back on the East Coast where it's probably not quite as warm. Here it was only 69 today, but I can tell you, being out in the sun definitely felt warmer, especially putting out some effort in getting all the outside decorations up. So did not achieve as much internally, but it is what it is. So thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Welcome to all the new subscribers. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for being part of our channel. So let's see who's in the chat. We have Michelle's Crafts and More is here. She says, hi, John. Hi, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I think I'm going to have to put my glasses on because I forgot to bring my iPod, or not my iPod, my iPad once again. So I got to read these from a distance. Who else? Ryan's here. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Danielle's here. I think she took a break over this Thanksgiving weekend, but we appreciate that. Joydy's here. Hey, Joydy, welcome in. I know Joydy's getting excited for tomorrow on December 1st. Balloonist is here. Good afternoon from Tucson. Riley and I are at the dog park enjoying the warm day, right? It really is just a beautiful day here. So I don't know what weather you're all experiencing where you are, but we are definitely being spoiled today. And we kind of deserve it, right? I mean, we do put up with 118 in the summer to actually have some nice fall days as we move into early December. Janet's here. Good evening, everyone, from cold, snowy, and icy Central Illinois. So there it goes, right? That's just what I meant. So sorry, Janet. We should not brag, but can't help that. Katrina's here. Welcome. I'm back. She says the dishes are in the dishwasher, leftovers in the fridge, and I found my allergy pill I was supposed to take this morning. I get that. I definitely know that allergy season is here. I have big problems during season changes. It's the one thing about the summer, it's nice for me because the summer kills everything here, and I don't have any problem during the summer, but I definitely have issues when we start changing back. Karina says it's been a beautiful day for them down in Florida, so that is awesome. Candace is here. Welcome in, Candace. Thanks for being here. Katrina, the school co-op he works for went to Springfield last week for a school field trip. He said it was a long day of driving. Oh, I can only imagine. Hey, Miss Katie from Greenland. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're doing better. I know you canceled, I think, a live this week. So I know you've been bouncing back and forth. Hope you are doing well. Sherry's here, says, hello, everyone. It's freezing there in Atlanta. Oh, my goodness. Brian's here. Welcome in, Mr. Brian. Sally, my girl, is here. Welcome in, Miss Sally. Hope Thanksgiving was super. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. Definitely miss seeing you pop in and out on some of the things. Katrina, Greenland. My goodness. Hey, Mama Jan, thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I'm trying to get through all the chat and make sure I say hi. Stitcher's here. Good afternoon, Stitcher. Thanks for being here with us. Nikki's here. Good evening, John and everyone. Thanks for joining Nikki B. Quilts. And I think that gets me caught up. All right, so I got some things done this weekend. It's funny. So I've got to go back to work tomorrow, which is not really exciting, other than the fact it does pay for the bills, right? It does pay and get me to do some of the things I toys and that I like to have, but not really ready to go back. I am disappointed. I had planned to get so much done over the 4-day weekend, and it really just didn't happen. So it is what it is. But those things happen, right? I today plan on working on my potato chip quilt from the holiday quilting bee the other day. I've got, I only have one, two, hmm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks done. So hopefully I can get a few more done today while we chat in that. I had hoped to get a lot more done and then ended up starting on the jelly rope twist quilt pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop and working on that, which is all Tula Pink. So I actually did take the Tula Pink Jelly Roll, start working on that. I did finish the Ray Steves quilt, and it is hanging up to be long-armed. We did get one quilt long-armed this weekend. I need to trim it and now work on the binding. And I did get some denim shirts stitched out for us for the quilt retreats and that. So I did get some things accomplished. I just didn't get the volume of things accomplished that I wanted, but that happens. I did get to go to Quilt Club this weekend and got to be part of the holiday festivities that they had since they were meeting on Saturday. Their normal meeting got changed out. So I was able to catch that one this month. So I did manage to get down to the Quilt Club. Just so much going on. I just kept thinking, wow, I'll get all of this stuff accomplished, all of this done, and nope, did not get near the volume of things accomplished that I wanted to. But you know what? It is what it is. What I would be curious um, is what did you all get done? Brian says it's rainy cold here in Maryland. No. Katrina says, I got 2 quilts delivered today to church members. Look at you. You go, girl. And Mama Jan says, our Kathy's brother had over 9 inches of snow in Wisconsin and more on its way. That's awful. I just, no, I don't want, I hope to never have to be in and deal with snow ever again as long as I live. So curious, it's been Black Friday. We've got Cyber Monday coming tomorrow. So what all have you all invested? What could you not live without? I'll be honest, believe it or not, I have really avoided any and all sales. I have not purchased really anything. Definitely nothing quilt related. I think I bought a couple things off Amazon, but just for different reasons, not for just because it was stuff I needed, not necessarily anything for Christmas and that kind of stuff. So even though some of my enabling friends did text me to make sure I didn't miss out on some of the sales and that, I did just kind of ignore that and just didn't buy anything. So I won't say that there weren't good buys out there. It just didn't tug and call at my heart. I think part of it is sitting here and looking at all these quilt kits and things that I already have sitting out that I just wasn't motivated to go out and spend more money right now, even if it was an amazing buy. So not sure. I did not look at Missouri Star. I did not go on Fat Quarter Shop. I did not. I don't know. I can't. Trying to think. I just really did avoid the whole gambit this time around. So curious if you all did go out and find some things and spend some money, and if you did, what did you think was just such a great bargain that you couldn't miss out, or were you kind of like me and just actually let it go this year? I don't know why. Normally, I'm a big Black Friday shopper, but I will say I don't think it's as exciting. Definitely not near as exciting online, right? But you can usually save and get some real bargains in that. I noticed like 35th had some good things going on, which is my favorite quilt store here in town. But again, not enough to get me in the car to even go down and see what they had going on. So just kind of crazy. So I know I let some people down by not spending bunches of money, but I am very excited that tomorrow is December 1st. And yes, I'm going to load up the YouTube channel for the next 25 days. And so it is time to do the unboxing of the different Christmas Advent boxes. And so for me, what does that look like? Hey, Jackie, thanks for being here this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Sweet Granny says she's here, but she's listening while eating a snack. Wish I had the weather here in PA. Bet you do. I can only imagine. I bet that's crazy. So we're having turkey tetrazzini tonight for dinner with our leftover turkey and that. Trini says I bought three air mattresses, 3 fleeces for the grandkids to sleep on when they're here and they arrive. How exciting, right? It's always fun to have the family, the kids, those, just all of them show up and be there, right? And so that's going to be an exciting time for you. That will definitely put some life back in that house for you. I can only imagine. Brian says, I didn't buy too much. My favorite coffee is on sale from Amazon. So I bought that because coffee prices are ridiculous right now. Amen, brother. I tell you. Katrina says, quilt I was working on for Alzheimer's Awareness Month was delivered. The lady, I thought it was wonderful. Look at you. I bet it was beautiful. Jackie said, I only restocked my charm packs from Missouri Star and some packages of moldable batting. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Sally says, we went to the Big Five. My guy had a few things he wanted, then decided to stop at Wally World. Surprisingly, not very busy. It was about 1 p.m. Yeah, I don't think the stores are, I don't think people aren't rushing to the stores like they used to anymore because they're not doing the bargains and all that like they used to, which, after people were getting trampled and all that, you can't blame them for that either. But I don't know. It's, Black Friday to me is just not the same anymore. And so anyway, starting tomorrow morning, I will do my unboxing of Missouri Star Quilt, Jenny's Countdown to Christmas. I am going to do a post every day for that. Sorry, guys. So most of those will end up probably being less than 5 minutes. I'm not going to just get on and just fill time just droning on and on. But we'll be doing the unboxing for Jenny's Countdown to Christmas. I have ignored everything else out on the YouTube. So I have no idea what I will be opening, but I'm excited. I've liked her box the last couple of years. I really had decided to avoid it this year and ended up buying it because I really did want to get that coffee mug. And Balloonist has already told me that I am getting the coffee mug, that she's seen that. So I am excited to complete that set. That really was one of the main drivers for me buying the countdown box. And like I said, it's been a good value in that. So we'll see how it goes this year. But I will be doing that every morning. I'll be releasing those. And then in the afternoon, I will be unboxing Lynn's Soft Squares Advent box. And I did buy the 25-day Advent box. It is the priciest of all of them that I bought. And I think her box was $325, if I'm not mistaken. But it's the first year I've done it. I know others have done it. It was recommended to me. So I'm really anxious to do that. I enjoy watching Lynn on Soft Squares. If you've not seen her channel, you ought to jump over and see it. She's a hoot. This woman's got the biggest personality. She's always laughing about something. So it's always fun just to kind of drop in and see what she's got going on. So I am very anxious to start unboxing her stuff. I have not peeked, I have not looked ahead, and I have not looked at any of the spoilers. And I will be doing a daily unboxing for her and that will come out about 5:30 my time in the afternoon. So I'll be doing Jenny's in the morning, and I'll be doing soft squares in the afternoon, early evening. But for the next 25 days, I do have Keepsake Quilting did come out with a vintage box. I ended up buying that this year. I decided to wait and open that probably around the 13th of the month, 15th, whatever. We'll see what how that falls on the weekend, and we'll probably just do one global unboxing of it overall. So I do plan to open that and just go through it all. They don't necessarily do it as an Advent box, but I am anxious to see what's in there. But I'll be honest, just trying to get the 2 boxes kind of under my belt and get those going is enough to get me started. And then we'll tag one Saturday and just do the unboxing of Keepsake Quilting. I do like Keepsake Quilting. They do a lot of different things. The first year I did it, they had a lot of spring in their box. So a lot of like reds and pinks and strawberries and stuff was their kind of theme in the first year. I liked that. A lot of people were upset that it wasn't Christmas themed since it was for Christmas, but I think their thought was Christmas was over by the time you got this box and started opening it. You wouldn't be able to complete those projects in time. So they were thinking ahead. The next year, which was last year for me, they did switch up and do more Christmas themed type boxes. I wasn't as impressed with it. It wasn't a bad box. It just wasn't a great box to me. Again, decided not to do that box. And then I saw that they were doing a vintage box. And I am such a nut when it comes to mid-century and vintage and all that. I thought, you know what, let's just grab their box. And actually, they still have boxes, and they actually have them on sale at a discounted price. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that have already opened them, and maybe some that have even are planning to tomorrow. But like I said, I am probably going to do mine mid-month. Ignore everything. All the other creators out there that are doing it have already done it or doing it earlier. All right, let me sew this one, and then we'll catch back up with chat, guys. I tell you what, it has been so crazy. We did run in our Etsy store. We ran a lot of the store at 20% off, so we already had some great buys on fabrics and that, and that ended up we shipped out. I know my poor little postman yesterday was not happy with me because when I asked them to do a pickup at the house, I think we had 7 packages. By the time he actually got here, we shipped out 13 packages yesterday. I've got 3 more to go out tomorrow. So it's been very interesting to watch how that has played out for us. So always something going on. Hey, Judy, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Zaza. Welcome in, Zaza. Oh, Balloona says, I don't think Missouri is meant to be Christmas-related projects. It's just presents. I agree. And I think it's interesting how there's this big debate, right? So I call it presents, right? Because I think it's really cool. I like how they do it. And I consider those presents. And somebody, I've noticed a lot of folks in the chats comment that these are not presents. You bought and paid for these, so there's no present associated with it. And I thought, I don't want to live that type of life, right? I do consider it a present because I bought it for John. I decided that's something John wanted to gift to himself, so I do consider it presents. So life's too short, guys. You decide what fills and warms your heart, and you go with that. And it's just funny, we all get hung up on the silliest things, and I just don't have time for that. All right. So, but I'm anxious to see what Jenny has put in the box. I think it's going to be interesting with Jenny and the Countdown to Christmas, they do so much, right? So, like this year, I did get the box. I always open the box just to count and make sure I've got all my um, packages and all that. The outside of the box is all very custom designed in that, and all curated just for Missouri Star Quilt and very personalized. Beyond that, then you get the all the packages inside are very all identical. Everything looks the same. Everything's got the same feel in that, which is nice. I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing, but it does come across right a little bit more commercial when you look at um, Lynn at Soft Squares. It was kind of fun to open her box, who was just this old brown shipping box, which is very typical. It's how most of us ship out in that. And then when you open it up inside, all 25 presents were wrapped in different papers in that. So, I think she figured out what fit what she was putting in there. And so I don't think any of the packages, I did go through and count to make sure I got them all, but I don't think any of them um, were copied over, right? So I think all 25 are different papers, different bags, all that kind of stuff, which is the way it would be under my tree. So I kind of like that too. So I'm not making a knock on Missouri Star. I think it's great that they've got that volume, that they've been able to put theirs together that way. And then at the same time, um, I think it's kind of cool the way Lynn has done hers to make it feel more personal. Just the way she's put it together. So I think both boxes bring a value. I think both of them have something to offer. And I'm really, really anxious to see what's inside, especially since this is my first year working with Lynn in her box. So I think it's going to be really cool. Oh, Jordy says she doesn't like the Missouri Star box. I get that. I understand that. That's the nice thing, right? There's a box out there for all of us. And, the last couple of years I did Open Gate. Open Gate, it was one of the more expensive boxes that I did. But I always liked what they did. I ended up stopping their monthly subscription in that. It just got to be too much and too many projects that I just wasn't getting to. So it just didn't make sense. But I did like their Christmas box. Ended up had made the decision not to do their Christmas box this year, and then they decided not to put out a Christmas box this year. So I'm not sure why they stopped theirs, but again, there's a lot of different ones out there. I watched a YouTube creator yesterday, I think, popped on, and she was going through all 25 boxes that she had purchased this year. In that she, basically, if someone had a box that she found out about, she bought it. I can't remember who the content creator is, but I just had to laugh because I thought, number one, I wish I had that kind of money that I could buy 25 boxes. And then at the same time, I'm like, but why would I want, I don't know. I just can't imagine that I would want 25 and that people, that you all just want to listen to me go on about all these different boxes. I feel guilty sometimes just doing the two, and it definitely takes time to put those together, get those produced, get those on the air. Somebody goes, "Are you doing Vlogmas?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? By the time I do 2 videos a day until Christmas, plus try to do the live, plus do the Keepsake Quilting box, and do a holiday quilting bee, there's just not going to be much time left." So we will see how it plays out. Sorry, let me back up a little bit in the chat. Hey, Catherine, welcome. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Katrina's got some really cool stuff going on. I bet the kids are going to be really happy when you get those projects done for them, especially since they got to make a choice, right? Inappropriate quilters here, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Right. Too much non-sewing related things in the Missouri Star box, and the quality last year was poor. I'm not arguing, debating that. I had really, like I said, decided not to do the box, but then like December 30th, when they said, "Do you want to buy the box for next year?" I ended up jumping on it, really just because I wanted that stupid coffee cup. And yes, I know I could have bought that probably after Christmas, and they probably had leftovers, but it is what it is. I will make a harder decision this year. I can tell you already, if I Lynn's box, I very well could end up doing just two of her boxes next year, because she does an A and B box, and A is only 12 days. And then the B box, which is what I bought, is 25 days. But she doesn't copy what's in one box to the other, which then makes me go, okay, well, are the folks that are only getting the 12 days getting some stuff better than me? Because, none of us want to be left out. So, we will have to see how that plays out once it's done. But I definitely will take a look at that. So we'll see. But I do want to go back and look at the in my history and see who that was that bought the 25 boxes, because I would be just curious of some of them. I know like the Ginger's Quilter has one out there. I did not buy her box again. She did a nice box. It wasn't for me. It just didn't resonate with me. So I did not go back to her again. Like I said, Open Gate's not doing theirs this year. So there's a lot of different ones out there. So look, so now we have 8 potato chip blocks done. Man, I tell you what, guys, I thought this would just go zip, 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 and I'd have this together and done so quickly when we did our live the other day. I did decide to quit being so crazy, and I did just stack the pieces in a different order, and now I am just literally sewing, pressing, sewing. So it is going to be a little bit more scrappy, because I did realize I was just driving myself batty trying to make this controlled chaos. So instead, I did stack this up, and I'm just taking each piece as it comes now. So we'll see how that turns out, or at the end where I go, oh, that's definitely going to be a charity quilt, because I am not happy with the way that looks. And not to say that I just give ugly quilts away to charity, but at the same time, right, it's still a nice warm quilt. And what I have learned is I put some things together and go, hey, don't like that at all. And then somebody else goes, wow, I just love the way that turned out. And I'm like, really? Because I wasn't happy with it at all. So you just never know what resonates with folks. But we will keep trying that for sure. Jackie says, my first time getting the Missouri Star Quilt box, had to make space for it. Small stacks in a couple of different spots, right? I understand. It's a lot of stuff in there, and it's all different sizes and that. Slowpoke Quilter, hey, welcome in. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Says, I bought a Missouri Star box several years ago and was not happy, so I've not bought one since. Yeah, it's just crazy. I think a lot of times people buy them based on their name, right? Because last year they made the comment that they were shipping out, I think it was 55,000 boxes. It's like, wow. I mean, it's just amazing to think how young their business is, and yet what a space they carved out for themselves pretty quickly in the quilting world, which is awesome, right? Because I do like Jenny. I do like listening to them. It's funny when I have trouble sometimes figuring something out, and I go back to look to see who can help me, and I'm out on the YouTube searching someone to teach me whatever it is I'm looking for. 90% of the time it ends up being Jenny. And she is really just a great instructor in that. So it is just funny how that happens. Oh, Jody says some channel creators get advents for free. Yep, not me. I don't get anything for free. The best I've done is I do have a few affiliates now where if you all go out and buy from them, it doesn't cost you all anything. But if you use my link, I do get a little percentage back, but not enough that it's going to let me retire anytime soon. But it was nice that a couple of folks asked me, and I'll be honest, I'm pretty choosy about who I want to associate with to begin with. And plus, I like being able to share my opinion and say what I want to say and not worry about someone saying, well, we didn't like that you said that, or we didn't like the way you came across. And it's like, yeah, whatever. If you don't like what you hear on my channel, the best thing is just don't tune back in, right? And but if I was getting sponsored per se, that would probably be a little bit harder sale. This way, I don't have to worry about it, and y'all get to hear me for what I am. But I would not turn down some free stuff. Like Missouri Star did send me the free cutlery set, which was super, super nice of them. Yeah, Nikki says, wow, that had to cost them a fortune. I would think so. Like I said, it just boggled my mind. I was like, if I had that kind of money, I don't think I would just be buying everyone else things like that. Slowpoker says that I work full time. Yes, I do. I know that's what's killing me. Believe me. Brian says, I don't buy any box. If I spend my money, I want to be only things I like and would use. I get that. I do. I will say I have enjoyed a couple of the boxes and some of the stuff I get out of them because it is stuff that I probably would have walked by that I may not have ever bought or never tried. And it kind of works for me, right? I know sometimes I'll get a fabric in one of them or a charm pack in that. And it's like, yeah, I would have never bought that. And then lo and behold, a couple of months later, I'll find a pattern that I want to do. And I'm like, oh, that would be the perfect charm pack for that. And it's like, oh, and you wouldn't have had that had you not. So I do think there's an advantage sometimes to taking that risk, right? And having them give me, put things in there that I wouldn't use. I will say that's where I found magic, which is the sizing, starch, whatever you want to call it, that I like to use. I had gotten a small bottle of it from one of the boxes. I think it was last year. So it is stuff like that that I may not have tried or did not even know existed. So it's nice to be able to grab a hold and get that. So, hey guys, some of you did reach out about the holiday quilting bee. I will try by next weekend to get something posted. We will definitely do a holiday quilting bee on Christmas Day. We will not be doing anything on Christmas Eve. I'm going to follow what I did last year. So we will get up and do something together on Christmas morning. That'll be the last holiday quilting bee of the year. How crazy is that? I do not do one for New Year's Eve. I did not do one last year, not doing one this year because I have my retreat that we're hosting. So we will not be doing a holiday quilting bee on New Year's Eve, but on Christmas. But I did ask a few, for your all thoughts and ideas, and I actually had a few of you that sent me emails after the show about what you thought would be cool to do for the holiday quilting bee. And so I am pondering over that, and we'll figure out what we would like to do. If you want to do something together, or as always, just do whatever you want to do, listening to me rattle on for a while. I don't have guests lined up. I don't know if I'm going to try to get a guest on Christmas Day. I think that turns out to be a big ask for some of the other creators. And I know a lot of the creators are exhausted, especially by the time December 25th gets here, especially if they've done unboxings and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Katrina says, I was disappointed OpenGate didn't do one, but after sewing Evelyn from last year's box, I was kind of scared for another quilt, right? Oh, inappropriate quitter is Zaza. I don't know why that just did not register for me tonight. Sorry, Zaza. It's been I will tell you, for 4 days off, my brain has been functioning in all kinds of different directions. Oh, Katrina says, isn't it Carolina Moore that has all the boxes? It very well could be. Like I said, it just popped up on the feed yesterday. I kind of caught the first few minutes. I don't think it's a channel that I've watched much in the past. I'm not even sure why it would have, popped up in the feed, but and I didn't. I paid a little bit of attention to it, but not a lot of attention to it because I had other things going on. So that said, I'm not sure if that was the content creator or not, but I do want to go back in my history and see because I would like to just see the list of who they bought from to even go out and look to see if one of those might be ones I would be interested in next year. I like to do something different. And I think one of the reasons I wanted to stop Missouri Star is because so many folks already do it. And so, because so many folks are already doing the Missouri Star, it doesn't blow me out of the water necessarily. And it's like, okay, so you've already got so many out there doing them, and you're not just wowed by everything in the box. So I would much rather spend my money on something where I go, wow, I am so thrilled I did that. So I took the risk with Lynn in Soft Squares just because I just love Lynn. Her personality is so amazing. That woman laughs. It just cracks me up. What a joyful heart and spirit she has when you listen to her channel and that. I love watching her on Monday nights. It's just, I don't know, it's just very refreshing. I love Sean. I love Stephanie. I love Katie. I love Russ. I mean, there's so many that I follow in that. And yet, I think all of us are so different in the way that we present, the way we talk, the way, just all of it comes together. And I think Lynn just helps round all of that out for me. So I am very, very excited to dig into her box tomorrow. It was interesting because she actually put a very nice welcome letter in there. And then as part of the welcome, actually priced out. So again, her box was $300+ I think it was 325, best I remember. But she says retail value of what's in that box is over $600. And so I thought that was interesting because that just shows you she watches and sees what others do. Because there's a lot of creators that go out and price and say, this is what I found this on the web. This is how much this cost. So they do a running total to see what value, how good a value you got by getting that box. So Lynn has already done that for you. So I'm anxious to see as I start unboxing how her numbers line up with what she tells me is retail value and what I believe. Do I believe that's close, or do I believe that's a little light? Again, just excited. I don't even have my Christmas tree up, guys. I did get the inflatables outside put up. Did get my Christmas wreaths up. I have all but one section of Christmas lights working, which makes no sense to me because we have permanent lights on the house, and there's one small section where it's got a juncture, anyways, that connects, and then it's got like 6 lights that ends the strand, and the first 2 work and the last 4 are not working. Have no idea why, and it's just like I don't even know how to deal with that. So my partner got out and played with it and didn't get there. Slowpoke Quilter, I do not know Lynn's last name, but it is Lynne, and it is at softsquares.com. So Lynn is over at Soft Squares, and that's where that box came from. Sorry, I'm jumping around. I personally like all the trinkets and stuff in the box. I don't tend to be like mystery boxes for fabric or BOMs. I want it won't make it if it doesn't speak to me. Now, I get that too. I think that's why, like all these kits spoke to me, but now I think I'm actually, I have so many that I've just overwhelmed, and now they're sitting here and collecting dust at the moment. But I do need to start jumping on those more. Yeah. Joy says she is on Monday nights. I thought it was, and I think she's in Utah. Brian, agree. I've got a Tilda advent calendar. It has 24 back quarters and a 2-yard cut for Christmas Day. I love the Tilda fabric. Huh. I have to take a look. I don't know that I know what that is. And again, I've never kept up with the fabrics, right? Like I know Tula, I know Bernadette's, and there's certain brands in that I know out there, few designers, but I just made my first batik, right? So I still have a long ways to go. Y'all have got to remember, I've only been doing this 2 years, and we're just now getting into the 3rd year of me even trying to figure this out. Nikki says they've done a lot of good for Hamilton. Yeah, they have. I mean, and that town has certainly embraced them, and I think Jenny and they've got a great heart. So. Catherine says the Missouri Star quilt's always a gift to herself. See, and that's what I think makes it nice, right? We all have different likes. We all have different things that we all have something that calls out. Oh, Danielle left me. Come on, Danielle. Mom always calls during my live now. What's up with that? Jody says it's always hit or miss. You can't like everything in the box. And I agree. I mean, stop and think. I mean, they're trying to put a box together that's going to resonate with multiple people, with multiple back. It's like, okay, well, that is kind of tough, right? So, but we'll see. Right, let me keep going, guys. I'm actually accomplishing a little something tonight. So let's see if we can keep that moving on. Oh, Mary says, Christmas Day is perfect. My kids come Christmas Eve and go to the in-laws on Christmas Day. So I will have all day to sew. Look at you. You are such a lucky lady. We will, I'm sure we typically do our Christmas right after the show. So we won't open Christmas gifts until after I get done with the live. Partly because my partner likes to sleep in, so that works for him as well. I'm a big child, so I can't ever wait long enough to get to the gifts and get things unwrapped. I'm always very anxious to get that started, but it is what it is. And so I will have to wait until he gets up. And so after the live, we have our Christmas jammies, which he doesn't know, but I bought them at Kohl's this year. Now that is one of the things I did buy for Black Friday, because we always have matching pajamas to open gift and that in. And I had $40 to spend at Kohl's that I had bought some other things and that, so I just needed to get rid of the Kohl's cash, which drives me nuts. And anyways, I had to spend that money, and I had a 30% off coupon along with like the friends and family discount and this and that. By the time I got the matching set of Mickey Mouse pajamas in a size that would fit me, they were like $9 a pair. And it's like, okay, like it's almost to the point where they were paying me to buy them. It was like, this is crazy. Because they started out, I think, like at $49 a set. So with all the discounts, I ended up getting them for like $9. So I got like a $40 discount. Oh, by the way, and they're shipping them to me. So not only that, I didn't have to go to the store. I didn't have to stand in line. I didn't have to go do pickup or none of that crazy stuff. I was able to get free shipping on top of it. So it's like, I don't know how Kohl's stays in business. You hear every year that they're struggling, and it's like, I get it. I mean, but you're all the ones that choose to give everything away, and So, anyways, that was part of my Black Friday purchases. One of the other purchases I made was I did get a new French rug for the bathroom, and I actually put that down today because it came yesterday from Kohl's, and it was like $16.99, and I got it for like $4 or something. So I don't know what coupons and that I fell into at Kohl's, but it was just phenomenal, and so I was able to get quite a bit of stuff. And needless to say, I was able to spend all $40 of my Kohl's cash. I'm not a huge fan of Kohl's cash. I used to lose Kohl's cash quite a bit because I could never remember to get back and shop and spend it on their timetable, which always aggravated me. Why are you giving me something and then telling me when I have to use it? Always kind of drives me nuts. But anyways, I did manage to get this one done this year. Katrina says it's a squirrely kind of day. Oh, Jody says Andrea at Arkansas Gal gets lots of advent. I love watching her box openings. I watched her not too long ago. She brings a lot of different things into the YouTube world, and I have watched her recently more than I had been. It is just funny, all the variety in it that is out here in the YouTube world. Zaza says, I have to agree. They've revived a dead town and brought employment to the area. I think other quilt shops fairly local to also benefit from it. Well, and at the same time, I know up till a few years ago, Jenny and them were conducting workshops in that. So like if I had a small quilt shop here, wanted to learn from them and that they were actually conducting workshops for other quilt shops to teach them some of the things that have made them successful and help them learn to survive and thrive in this not only crazy economy, but it is a very eclectic world, and as far as quilting and what you get in that. So they really are big in giving back. That's why another reason I'm kind of anxious to see what the box looks like this year, because I wonder how much involvement did Jenny really have. But at the same time, the volume that they do, that box would have, a lot of that stuff in the box ends up, it was purchased or decided upon a year, maybe even 2 years ago, because when you're buying that type of volume and that, it's not like it's just sitting on the shelf. And they do a lot of custom things with their designs. So I do like that. I still have my easy button from Jenny. I don't know that it's in here. I had it in here at one point, but they copied the easy button from Staples with Jenny and her voice, and I've always kept it in here. So I guess as I've moved and set up the new studio, it's gotten pushed aside for now, but I know I will find that. But I thought that was the neatest gift, right? It was just cool, just kind of different. And I'm one of those dorks, right? I've always kept it right by my sewing machine, and every so often I hit the button, and it's just a little word of encouragement, right? And makes you feel special sometimes. Brian says, I will join the Christmas Day quitting. He did miss Thanksgiving. I know, Brian, you were missed. We had some cool prizes too. Now I got to figure out how to get some cool prizes together for Christmas. Black Friday deals at Fat Quarter Shop were great this year. A better option for my limited budget compared to a surprise box. Yeah, and that makes sense too. I never thought of it that way, but that absolutely makes sense too. Because I really did. I just avoided all the Black Friday sales this year. I didn't even buy anything from AccuQuilt. And guys, I'm always buying stuff from AccuQuilt. So I definitely had to cut back from them this year. And they had some really good sales too. I do love my AccuQuilt. Candace says, I dropped a fortune on Tilda Christmas line. I'm going to have to go look at Tilda after the show. Brian says, I love the Tilda solids. How am I not knowing about Tilda? Am I living in a cave? How am I missing out on this, guys? Candace, it was beautiful line. They don't normally do a Christmas line either. Huh. Who carries the Tilda? So where did you all get yours? At a local shop, or are you buying it online somewhere? Sally says her man's going to be with her for Christmas and New Year, so she will not be joining us. But you know what, Sally? I am glad you have that special someone and that he's going to be there with you, because that's where he belongs during the holidays. So you will be missed, as always. And that means we will have to catch you probably on MLK Day. So Martin Luther Day will be the first holiday quilting bee in 26. Oh, Zaza says she's doing a live stream at 7 Eastern on Saturday. I absolutely will tune in. I would love to watch. And so if you would, if you think about it, send me an email with your link, and I will make sure to get it in Nightbot so we can put your channel up next time. So definitely want to see you. That's very exciting. Katrina says, kids won't come home until the day after Christmas. Jim has to preach Christmas Eve. They'll be driving to Nashville on Christmas Day. I tell you what, Nashville's a beautiful city. I just went there for a conference a few years ago. Of course, I grew up in Kentucky, definitely an old Kentucky boy. Grew up in Louisville, and I know how to say it. It's Louisville. It ain't that Louisville and all that craziness. It's Louisville. But I actually lived down next to Bowling Green, Kentucky, in a town called Glasgow. And when we lived in Glasgow, we used to spend a lot of time in Nashville because back in the day, they had Opryland before they tore it down to build a mall. Of course, I've always loved country music and that. And then we used to go over to Twitty City, that then became TBN. And so we used to go watch Trinity Broadcasting Network back in the day because they had some amazing Christmas specials in that, and they had some awesome artists in that would show up there. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we saw Carmen there perform. And so that was over in Henderson. So I love, there's so much to offer in Tennessee. My son lives over in Knoxville. So he just bought a house in Knoxville. He plans to retire in the Air Force in the next couple of years, and he definitely wants to call Tennessee home. So I love the Tennessee area. Not enough that it would get me out of Arizona because it still gets ice, not so much snow, and I am definitely not doing ice. In fact, one of the worst ice storms I've ever been in is when I lived in Glasgow, Kentucky, and we had flown into the Nashville airport. We knew the weather was getting bad. I managed to get out of the airport over on Briley Parkway, and just as I got on Briley Parkway, it was stopped. Ice had come through so thick that we had inches of ice on the highway, and literally I'm white-knuckled trying to figure out where I'm going to get my little minivan to, because I knew at this point John wasn't making it back to Kentucky that night. And we're sitting on Briley Parkway, and I'm watching as we're in a dead stop. Cars in front of me just slide sideways off the parkway. It was just crazy. So I managed to get to the first exit, which had the big round Sheraton Hotel. I managed to get there, get in, run in, and I got one of the last 3 rooms that they had because everybody was coming off the parkway as fast as they could. just to find anywhere to stay for the night. And then woke up the next morning. It was absolutely gorgeous. My boss had flown in like a half hour, 45 minutes before me, and said he could see the storm like in his rear view mirror going home. And Kentucky got nothing. So they didn't get snow, ice, or nothing. It was all kind of like isolated right there in Nashville. So that's one of my travel stories. People used to say, "Oh, it must be so nice to travel for work. So many benefits." I'm like, "Yeah, that's someone that didn't have to travel a lot for work. You just never knew what you were going to run into." I've lived through several ice storms in my life and don't want to do that again. Jody says, "I love watching your lives and hearing your accent." See, I don't think I have an accent. People out here keep asking me. It's funny because they'll say, "Where are you from?" And I say, "I'm from Phoenix." And everybody laughs and goes, "No, you're not." And it's really bad. I don't know if you all have ever noticed, but like after I go to the beach in South Carolina and I'm with my kids and that for a week, the Southern does tend to come out a little bit stronger. And it's funny when I go back to work, they're like, "Oh yeah, you were in the South last week, weren't you?" And I'm like, "Guys, really? I don't think I have much of an accent, but apparently I do." So yeah, I have to own it. It is what it is. Very proud of my heritage, even if they're not proud of me. Doesn't matter, right? Uh, Rena says they stay with me because all the other beds in town are full. You know what? If I could have my kids, doesn't matter how I get them. Take them any way I can get them. I do miss being with them for the holidays, but it's been so crazy. My poor daughter, she's been dealing with her father-in-law passed away just before Thanksgiving. So they had the funeral today and the visitation yesterday. So she did not have the best Thanksgiving. Um, because she was pretty close to her father-in-law. She was very fortunate, married into a very nice family. But it's interesting because now that's put pressure on me because she's like, "See, that's all the more reason you need to be back home and need to be back closer." I don't know that I can give up the weather and things I have here. I'm not going back to Four Seasons, that I can tell you. And I really just love my community. I have such great people here. We have such good friends. I live in such a safe area. But at the same time, if I could find me 10 acres to sit at home and just quilt all day, do lives, and get to chat with you all, that's what I would be doing. So you just never know. Guys, we're at 58 minutes. I am sorry. I feel like I have just rattled and rattled on tonight, and I don't know what's gotten into me. Katrina says, "I'm proud of my Southern drawl." Tell you what, we earned it, right? It is what it is. It's not going away for sure. Nikki says, "When I lived in Wisconsin, people thought I was from Texas. I don't think I'm that twangy." All right. Jody's cracking up now. All right. You and Brian, I tell you what, see, you and Brian need to figure out how to get to QuiltCon in 27 so we can have time together, so we can just reminisce, laugh, and have a good time. And then you might actually get to see the Tula drawers. You just never know. Mama Jan says, "Yes, John, you do have an accent. I used to have a slight one." Oh, yeah. Y'all just killing me. Danielle says, "You're fine, John." See, I like my little, yeah, it is what it is. I tell you what, I moved my daughter to South Carolina and it was, man, she got a whole different accent. I was like, "Girlfriend, where did that just come from?" So she's definitely got the Southern drawl. Well, guys, we are at the top of the hour. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, letting me rattle on tonight. Thank you so much for being here. If you're a new subscriber, this is me. This is what it is, and it doesn't get much better or any different. I still want my MTV. I have got all my Christmas shirts out, so we'll be rocking the Christmas um, between now and the end of the year. I'm excited to welcome in the holidays and that. And as always, it's just fun having you here. So thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me tonight. Please do all that crazy stuff that makes the YouTube algorithm appreciate each and every one of us. And as always, guys, until next time, happy crafting.